Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Jamila and this is Jamila Creates. So last time we were working on my line and I'm still doing that a lot. That's why I haven't made a video in a while, is because I've been doing a lot of Clo 3D and a lot of digital drawing and all that stuff, but there are a few things that I left out of my line. I'll show y'all a couple of designs right here in the corner. I can't see them right now, so I'm just going to go off of memory. I left out a couple of jackets in my final Clo renders that were in the sketches, and the reason I did that is that they felt redundant to do them on Clo and sketch and upcycle in real life. Like, this project has to end eventually, right? Just also, I didn't feel the need to, so today I'm going to make those jackets, and by today I mean probably tomorrow, maybe next week, because it's Thursday as I'm recording this and it's kind of late in the day, but I just thought I'd get to recording this intro while it was on my mind. So here's me making those jackets. Alright, so my room's a mess, or my craft room is a mess, so I'm just gonna film from here, and that noise is my 3D printer. I'm trying to get something to work for my packaging upstairs. So here is how I've pinned it so far. This is fold over edge binding. So what I'm going to do is sew it in here with a small zigzag stitch. Usually you do a straight stitch, but this fabric is a little testy, so I'm going to do a zigzag stitch and then fold over, and that's going to be like the whole neckline. Is supposed to be one piece. I have it as two because decisions were made as I went, but I'll be able to cover that up easily. And then I did the same thing for the bottom, and for this middle bit I realized that I don't have enough fabric to or enough edge binding to do that, so I'm going to use some of this, and it'll be later in the tutorial, but I don't think I want to use it like folded over. Maybe. I'll think about it, but for now I'm just going to sew this down. I've got half of it done. I sewed in the one side, so now I just have to top stitch all of this. Really regretting using such a small fold over, but that's all I had. So this is how it's looking so far, and I will say in my design it had sleeves, but the more I think about it, so in my design this had sleeves, but the more I think about it, the more I want to make this zero waist. So this is what I cut off for the neck, and I'm going to turn that into a cute pocket. We're not going to be zero waist just because these little things keep coming off, and because the easiest way to do this pocket, I think, is to just sew all of this on top, which is not traditionally how one does it, but I think it'll hold up a lot better given the nature of the thing, and then I'll top stitch it again to attach the whole thing to the jacket. But that means all of this edging I'm going to have to cut off, and that's going to leave a lot of little scraps. But subscribe and stay tuned, because I have some interesting ideas for those scraps involving resin, which I've done before, but I want to do it a little bit differently this time. So stay tuned for that. This is not going well, but I wanted to show y'all something I discovered. So it kept going off the edge. I don't know if you can see, like this, and at first I was really worried about that. I didn't like it, but then I realized I actually really like the way that looks a lot better than in the middle of the seam. I used white thread on the bobbin. That was stupid, but we're keeping it. It's fine. The whole thing's kind of loosey-goosey. So when I sew this is bias tape, which I should have thought about. I actually should have sewn this to like a scrap piece of fabric to stabilize it, but I'm not going to do that. So whoever buys this, maybe don't put your phone in this pocket. But I really like this wavy look, actually. It's kind of giving Georgia O'Keeffe, but like different color scheme, obviously, because that would be gross. Okay. You know what I mean. It's giving kind of this like cool wavy modern look to it. So I'm really liking how that's going. And I'm gonna go ahead and finish the other side, and I'll show y'all when I have the pocket pinned on the mannequin. Also, for those of you wondering what that sound in the background was, that was my 3D printer. I was 3D printing this little guy, and this is what people in papercraft call a bone folder. And I'm really terrible at papercraft, so hopefully this goes well. But if y'all want to see a video on me making my packaging for my business, I also sell DIY kits, and one of those is the DIY scrunchie kit. I use this to basically indent the paper where I'm going to fold it because I make my own boxes. So if y'all want to see that, you can mention it in the comments. Otherwise, I'm trying to really focus in on clothing upcycles and DIYs. Okay, so I'm going to leave it like this for today, but I did end up moving this inside out because I didn't like the white there. I kind of like it as like a lining, but I like the idea of having it folded like this. And so for next time, I'm going to sew a zigzag right here with the black thread and then chop all this extra off, which I hate doing, but I don't like the look of this by itself. I like the folded over half moons a lot better. So I'm just going to have to do that and have more scraps for my pile. Don't look at this, it's a mistake. Okay, as for this, here's where I plan to have the pocket. I kind of like that it's just out like that and kind of crinkly. Like I think that looks super cool, but I am going to sew it from here and this little corner just to make sure that it's completely stabilized. But then I'll have a full jacket. So I'll check in with y'all after I sew this and the first layer of stitching here. So this is how it turned out. I really like how sculptural the black lines are. It's not how the sketch was at all, but I really like it. I think it's unique and cool. I really like how this is kind of wrapping around in a loose way. It's not even, but I think that's part of the charm. And I really like it like flipped over like this so that you can't see the white stitching right there. And also to make like a real neckline, I think that that's really neat. I might go ahead and like hand sew this down before I sew it, like here, and here, just a couple little hand tacks. The original had a button, but whenever I tried to plan out where that would go, I didn't like it, so I scrapped it. Also, the original didn't have a pocket, so you know, you lose some, you win some. I really like how like wabi-sabi the pocket is. Also, I have big hands, so I know lots of stuff can fit in here. So that's that, and I have a pile, or a small pile of scraps left, but if you want to do this and you want to make your scraps like, you know, you want this to be truly zero waste. You don't want to have to do another project to make it zero waste like what I'm going to do. You want this to be like everything goes back into it. Then I have a tutorial on using water-soluble paper and tiny scraps. It'll be right in this corner up here. And that is all I have for you today. Next week, I'm not promising that it'll be next week, but next video, we'll be turning this into this. So stay tuned for that. But if you enjoyed that and you're looking forward to more of my projects, including how I use the small pile of scraps I have laying around from this, then you know what to do. Please subscribe, like, and comment down below. And if you try anything like this with the used blanket, I would love to see it. So make sure to tag me on social media. I'll have my link tree in the description. Thanks for watching. Bye.